Hi there and welcome. I'm Rebecca Weaver. I'm going to be looking at adding and subtracting rational expressions today. So what do we do? First thing you have to do if you have a rational expression, be sure you're having a common denominator if you're going to add. Step 2, add the numerators, keep the denominators. Step 3, simplify by dividing out the common factors. Now this means that you'll need to factor the numerator and the denominator if you can and see if they have anything in common. If they do, just divide those out, cancel them. And if they don't, you're just done. Right, here's our first example. Step 1, get a common denominator. Done. So I write down that denominator and then I add the numerators. X plus 1. You know what? That's done. They don't have anything in common. All done. Here's our next one. We have 3x over x minus 3 plus x over x minus 3. Step 1, get a common denominator. Done. Then, step 2, add the numerators. 3x plus x. All right, now I need to do this. Keep that same denominator, add the tops, 4x. Do they factor? No. You know what? I'm done. Let's do some more of these. X over 3 plus 1 over 6. Do I have a common denominator? No. So what I'm going to need to do is decide what I want the denominator to be. I think I want that denominator to be 6. So what I'm going to do, the first one needs to be multiplied top and bottom by 2. So I'll do that. I'll end up with 2x over 6 plus 1 over 6. Then keep the same denominator, add the tops. Will anything factor? Nope, you're done. So now I have 2x squared over x squared minus 16 minus 8x over x squared minus 16. Do I have a common denominator? Yep. Now I just do the tops. Now remember to watch that sign. This is going to end up being 2x squared minus 8x, because that minus sign, you'll need to minus everything through. So let's do some factoring here because we need to see if they have anything in common. The denominator factors into x plus 4 times x minus 4. The numerator, both those two guys have a 2x in them. So I'm going to factor out that 2x, and I'll end up with 2x times the quantity x minus 4. Hey, I got a couple of x minus 4s. What do I have left over? 2x over x minus 4. All done. Let's play some more. Oh my goodness, this is a big old whopping mess. I have 2x squared plus 30x minus 13 over x squared minus 49 minus the quantity 2x squared minus 5x minus 8 over 49 minus x squared. Now look at those denominators. They're really, really close. In fact, they're just like exactly opposite each other. Here's a little trick you can pull. Multiply top and bottom of that second fraction, and notice that you'll get a negative 49 and a positive x squared. So you have this right here. Everything stayed the same except for that one denominator. Now I did change the signs of everybody up here in that numerator of that second guy. Notice how it was a 2x squared, so I had to distribute that negative 1 all the way across. So now I have negative 2x squared plus 5x plus 8. But that's all right. At least those denominators are the same, and I can just write down everything's over x squared minus 49. Now, I will need to write down everything that's on top, remembering to distribute that subtraction sign right there. So here I go. I've got 2x squared plus 30x minus 13, a plus 2x squared, a minus 5x when I distribute that subtraction sign, and a minus 8. Now let's collect some like terms. I went ahead and factored that denominator in case I had something that might factor. I don't know if I will or not. I'll add that 2x squared and that 2x squared. I'll get that that's 4x squared plus 25x minus 23. You know what? This guy doesn't factor. He's just done like that. All right, either one of those two answers would have worked, either that one or this one, either one. Let's look at another one. Oh, no, this does not have common denominators. Oh, my. Your first step is to factor those denominators. When I do, I get 8 over x minus 3 times x plus 1 plus 3x over x plus 1 times x plus 3. So in that, I factored that x squared minus 2x minus 3, and I went ahead and factored that x squared plus 4x plus 3. Okay, here goes. I need one of everything. I'm going to need an x minus 3. I'm going to need an x plus 1. And I'm going to need an x plus 3. Now, I don't need to duplicate those x plus 1s because I just need one of them, and it'll make my problem simpler if I'll just do it this way. So let's write down what we have. I've got to try to make it have that common denominator. So for the first term, I'll multiply top and bottom by x plus 3. The second term, I'll multiply top and bottom by x minus 3. So what I'll get for the first guy is I have our common denominator, and I'll just write down 8 times that x plus 3. For the second guy, I'll write down plus 3x times x minus 3. Now I've got to perform all of that. I've got to distribute that 8 and get 8x plus 24, distribute that 3x and get 3x squared minus 9x. Okay, now this is all well and good. Let's combine like terms, and we'll end up with 3x squared minus x plus 24. Now you don't need to multiply that denominator out. Let's just leave it like that. And if you try and try, you will find that this will not factor, so you're just done. Okay. Now, if that numerator would have factored, I would have seen it. Do I have anything in common here? And run on from there. So let's do another one. I've got negative 3x minus 9 all over x squared plus x minus 6 minus the quantity x plus 3 over 2 minus x. All right, first thing got to do is factor. You know it. So here I go. I factored that x squared plus x minus 6. I got x plus 3 times x minus 2. Funny thing about that second term there, I'm looking at right here. Look at how that's 2 minus x, and that's x minus 2. I'm going to pull that little trick that I did earlier. I'm going to multiply that second term, top and bottom, by a negative 1. What I'll end up with is negative 3x minus 9 over x plus 3 times x minus 2 minus, now I'll get a negative, that numerator, so negative the quantity x minus plus 3. I could go ahead and run that through if I want to. Or I can just look at that plus plus and go, ooh, I mean minus minus make that a plus. But I do have an x minus 2, so that makes me happy because now my common denominator is just x plus 3 times x minus 2. Now if you didn't see that and you did a little bigger denominator, that's okay. Your problem's just not going to be as easy to simplify as mine. So what will I need? That second term needs an x plus 3. So I'll multiply top and bottom by x plus 3. Writing down what I got for the first term in the numerator. Then I'll write down plus the x plus 3 times the x plus 3. I just went ahead and said that that minus minus made a plus there. I'm going to need to multiply all of that out. So I did x plus 3 times x plus 3 is x squared plus 6x plus 9. Then combine like terms, and I end up with x squared plus 3x all over x plus 3 times x minus 2. Nice. Let's see, will anything factor? Yeah, I've got an x in both those two in the numerator. Let me factor that out. That gives me x times x plus 3 all over that x plus 3 times x minus 2 quantity. Notice those guys cancel, giving me x over x minus 2. Nice. I like it when things cancel on out. Now, if you have any questions with these, they're going to give these to you in all different kinds of forms, and they're going to mix it all up. you're going to mess around with negatives, and sometimes these get pretty confusing. So if you need any help, be sure and email me, rweaver10@alaska.edu, and have a fantastic day. Bye now.